we'll we'll let Brian in when he gets here. All right, gotta wait for my go live. All right, 7 o'clock. It looks like we're going live on YouTube. We're live and live on Instagram. All right, I think we're up and running.
Live.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, October the 15th, and this is America's Outpost. Look who just showed up, Brian Lane. Brian just showed up.
Just in time.
All right, just in time. And as always, I'm the Aaron, the Doge Update Guy, with my fellow hosts, the real Brett Lee and Brian Lane. And we have a returning guest this evening, Claire Patriot. If you're on social media at all, I'm sure you recognize her, and we're going to have a good show tonight. So everybody, how's it going, Brian? Nice to see you. Right on time.
I'm about to turn this light down a little bit. I'm still trying to get things set up.
All right. So much, buddy.
All right, Claire, how about yourself? How are you?
Doing great. Just hanging out with all of you lovely people.
All right. Brett, what's on the agenda with you tonight?
Well, I'm battling, I'm not going to call it COVID. Everybody calm down. I'm battling a cough. So I'm going to be Johnny on the spot with the mute button. So I don't want to be coughing and blowing up your earphones. So,
all right, fair enough.
But other than that, we're doing good.
All right. Well, let's kick off the show with some headlines tonight. Let's see. Pentagon reporters from every major fake news media organization lose their press badges after they refuse to sign Hegseth's security rules. So now the media wants to have it their own way, but they don't want to play by the rules. What kind of shit is that?
So how do you feel about that? I'm all for free speech, but at the same time, it's the Pentagon, and there's, secure information that they have to be cognizant of. So it's like there's that balance between free speech and, getting stuff out to the press, but at the same time, you got to protect America's interests. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, really.
Well, we'll find out. Claire, what do you think?
Same. I really don't know, because on one hand, I love our freedom of speech, and I think, it is important. But then it's hard. I feel like that's where we're going to move in this country, is figuring out where we draw the line in a lot of issues when it comes to speech.
That's a great point. Yeah, because we're going to have to draw a line somewhere, because before it was a very clear line, but we hadn't really tiptoed on that line. And I feel like now everybody's tiptoeing on the line and saying, well, is that against free speech? And that's like, all right, we're going to have to really make it clear to people, because we haven't had to do that before. So
well, and to be a news reporter in the press pool for the Pentagon is not a right. It's privilege.
Exactly. Right.
So, there's that to think about as well. As the government shutdown continues to loom, breaking news here, Clinton judge blocks Trump administration from firing federal workers during the Schumer shutdown. Now, I think that's complete and total bull nonsense, because during a shutdown, the president has the ability to do a reduction in force, but now we've got another rogue Clinton-appointed judge gumming up the works.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, we got to round up all these judges and get them out. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's very clear that they're not making judgments based on law. They're making it based on lawfare. And
feelings.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just trying to just gum shit up. It's annoying.
I agree. You doing okay there, Brian?
We're making it. We're making it, Brian.
All right, we're getting there. All right, let's see what else we've got going on this evening. Shut up. Pelosi loses it. She screams and points at a reporter after she is asked why she refused to call in the National Guard on January 6th. I'm going to load that up so we can watch it, actually. But who's got some comments on that?
I'm sure she doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. I mean, it's okay. Let's put some age limits on our congressmen and women, please, because she's got to have a handler walking her around, holding her arm. There's nothing against the elderly. We all love you.
Right.
But at some point, we got to draw a line and say, you're too old. Okay. It's not conducive to what we're trying to do here. And she sounds drunk all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Well, let me see if I can figure this out here. Let's select a tab to share. And share. I don't know. We'll see if everybody can hear this. But boy, I tell you what, she gets lippy. Listen to this.
Congresswoman Pelosi, are you at all concerned that the new January 6th committee will find you liable for that day? Are you at all concerned about the new January 6th committee finding you liable for that day? Why did you refuse the National Guard on January 6th?
Shut up. I did not refuse the National Guard. The president didn't send it. Why are you coming here with Republican talking points as if you're a serious journalist?
The American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Where's my scotch? Where's my scotch?
That literally sound like she just got back from like happy hour or something, like a lunch break.
It was a 3 martini lunch for her. I mean, ridiculous.
You shut up, you little whippersnapper.
So every time they don't want to answer something now, it's Republican talking points. I'm like, it's a question.
Yeah, it's a question.
It's a question. Answer it.
Yep, she's a little nutty. See, President Trump calls out the Georgia 2020 election and votes being stored in Fulton County. Not going to dig into that article, but we all know what that's going into. Votes not being counted correctly, stored improperly, chain of custody missing, and all those kind of good things. So,
conspiracy theorists batting 1,000.
Oh yeah,
conspiracy fact for sure. God. Let's see. Disgrace. Award-winning Texas nurse fired after vowing to let cops and their families DIE during drunk driving arrest. All right. I wonder who she voted for. Go figure.
The party of tolerance and
peace, love, and tolerance.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to screw this up, but just in, Judge Emmergut, Immergut, extends block on Trump's troop deployment to Portland. I don't know why law and order is being suppressed and stomped on by those in charge of helping, law and order judges.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
right? The end all be all.
Well,
We'll have none of that shit.
They're making it sound like the law enforcement and the National Guard is just going in and just like walking down the street and just like rounding people up. No, they're protecting federal facilities. That's what they're there for. That's their right under the law, which I think every American would agree that we want our federal facilities to be protected. So I don't understand what all the hubbub is about.
I agree. Brian, you got any comments?
None that would matter right now. I'm having technical difficulties over here. Just a second.
Oh, man. All right. You're getting it squared away. Let's see. Well, let's follow up with another one. Outrageous. Cook County Chief Judge bans ICE and Border Patrol from making civil arrests of illegal aliens at Chicago courthouse. So we know they're there. We know they don't have the legal right to be in the country, yet we can't arrest them because the judge says so.
How is that legal?
Exactly. Great question. When it's like they are a criminal under the law.
Yes.
And the judge, who is supposed to be impartial, is allowing that to happen. So to me, disbar them immediately. It's a violation of your job. Plain and simple.
I would agree. All right. Let's see. Okay. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson compares black people to disabled people during arguments on race-based voting districts. I think that headline says it all. You can't make this. I don't know what else to say to that. She said as much as can be said.
She said it herself.
Yeah. You can't make this up. In 2022, we warned about Salesforce. This week, they were outed for indirectly funding the Tides Foundation and Antifa. Tides is George Soros, as well as Antifa being funded by Soros through Tides and various other NGOs and so-called Open Society Foundation, those kind of things. Wrap it in a nice name, but give them a nefarious mission. So not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Let's see. Plane carrying Secretary of War Pete Hegseth makes emergency landing in the UK due to cracked windshield. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah, did they say what this? I heard they lost cabin pressure. It was enough for them to have to.
Oh,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, to have to.
I wondered, maybe a bird? Could a bird do that?
Yeah. I mean, but they were way up there though. I mean, 30,000 feet, I think.
Yeah,
cruising altitude, I would imagine.
There's no birds up there.
I hope not.
Yeah.
If there are, they're lost.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, Brian, you good?
Don't think so.
All right. Next headline, DOJ lawyer buries far-left Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor after she makes an unwise argument for race-based districting during oral arguments. A lot of the voting stuff is making its way up to the Supreme Court, and they're having a hard time winning their arguments. I mean, in other words, the Trump administration is winning on these efforts to ensure that the voting is legal and not being messed with. So it's going to be interesting when the midterms come up. Yeah, the
the
redistricting.
redistricting stuff is starting to get up in the Supreme Court. So, and I think everybody knows that we're doing what the Democrats have been doing for decades. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's no different than that. We're actually undoing what they have done. So it's, same old from the Dems.
All right, let's see. Let's go on to Liberty Daily. Letitia James is a victim of her own actions, not a Trump revenge tour. What are your guys' opinions on that? That's been going on for quite a while now, and I've dug into some of the news reports and the evidence that they've shown, and having worked in that industry for decades, no, it doesn't look good.
No, I mean, she knew what she was doing. She was manipulating exactly what they're claiming that she was. And to me, it's cut and dry. She just got caught with her pants down. And it's just hilarious to me and ironic that she was trying to go after Trump for the same type thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God, you can't write a better story.
No, you couldn't write a better story.
I don't like hearing pants down and Letitia James in the same way. the same. I think in my mind sees pictures. So like this is the way it works.
Well, remember, Brian, there's inside words and outside words. Some words belong inside, some can come outside. Federal grand jury has been convened for an airtight case against John Bolton. Indictment imminent. Sorry, tongue twister there. Yeah, that's the guy I'm not a huge fan of and haven't been for a long, long time. Definitely a war hawk and rhino. And I guess he's going to get what's coming to him for taking those top secret documents home to his house where they shouldn't have been.
Yep.
Oops.
As he should.
All right, guys, let's go to the comments. Let's go to the peanut gallery and see what comments we've got.
Well, I've got a funny meme that the White House just posted about an hour ago. Did you see the picture of the giant sombrero laying in front of the White House lawn? It says Trump was right about everything. And then the White House commented, says the sombrero of truth.
The sombrero
in Jeffries and Schumer's office. The sombrero thing is hilarious to me. If you've been following it, and the sombrero is just getting slightly bigger and bigger and bigger. The fact that they're trolling the left and they're like, this is not professional and blah, blah, blah. Like, we're going to keep doing it because you think it's not professional and it's getting under your skin. We're going to keep doing it. It's like picking on a 5-year-old.
I just wonder who is running those pages.
I don't know.
Who is it?
Dan Scavino.
Yeah. It's not somebody that's a seasoned politician. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Trump's social media truth and all of that? Oh yeah. Like I think.
Even like the ICE, the official ICE account and
Homeland Security.
It's great.
Well, they're all on the same page, and Dan Scavino's has typically been over all of Trump's social media. And then you've got like Kaylin Dorr, and you've got the whole little squad there.
Okay.
And they are witty and funny.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Let's bring
care.
some humor back into this stuff, man. And the fact that it's getting under the left skin is just even better. It's icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably Barron too. I bet you Barron has a hand.
I wondered if it was Barron. Yeah.
How funny would that be? Barron just comes out one day and he's like, I've been running this the whole time.
He's like, I think Don Jr. might be on the sub-secret committee. He's like, hey man, I got one for you. Sending him over. And
Don Jr.'s got some good stuff too from time to time.
Well, I'm trying to find that video compilation of There Is No Antifa. If anybody can find it.
Man, that to me is like, that's ridiculous for them to say that it doesn't even exist and it's just a figment of our imagination. And like, they have flags, they have official colors. They're all look the same. They have group gatherings. Like, you can't say that they don't exist. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I feel like instead of everything, as with everything with the Dems, instead of face anything, they're like, no, it's not. No, it isn't. It's not real. Like,
gaslighting at its finest. And I hate that word. I hate it. So overused, but they are experts at it.
Well, why do you hate it so much?
Are you gaslighting me right now?
Maybe. All right. I think I've got a copy of that. Hold on here.
You know what though? It might be a good time since it's illegal now. It's like punk to be Antifa. Mm-hmm. So like open up some Antifa clothing merch lines and get all of their information and just start taking numbers.
Buying some t-shirts. Yeah.
I wonder how much they really do that out there. As far as like intelligence gathering. How's my mic sound, by the way?
It sounds good.
You're good.
I hear you.
Oh, I sound hollow.
All right, let me see here. I think I've got There Is No Antifa here. Let me see.
Antifa, like I don't even know what Antifa is. There is no group.
It's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
It isn't an organization. It is a in many ways mythology.
It's not like the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, sort of defined terrorist organizations with leadership that leads violence.
It's not a highly organized movement. It's a moniker. It's not a unified group like the Proud Boys are. Things like Antifa are things that are thought up.
It's all in this guise of going after Antifa, which is nothing. There's no organization called Antifa.
Nobody's a member of Antifa because it doesn't exist. They are just declaring into existence something that doesn't exist.
There is no Antifa organization, so maybe that's good for social media. But it really is non-existent.
They exist on the internet in chat rooms and in 4chan and Discord and places like that where they run discussion boards, trade tactics, documents, things like that. But none of them are called Antifa.
I mean, who are these people?
They're talking points. I wonder if they get because people were catching on for a while that they were all saying the same thing. So now they're like, let's mix it up. Here's A, B, C, and D. Y'all can pick one, and you can kind of see them going back and forth on there. It's well, we can say ridiculous. We should have a little dinger every time we say ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Ding,
I'll have to load that up. We could do how about an applause?
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
All right. Well, the gaslighting is so bad. How can you say there is no Antifa when you've got pictures of Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, holding the Antifa book at the bookstore going, this is what scares Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
But they're just an idea.
Logo.
Right. Well, don't forget they have funding.
It's the gaslighting, and it's the, if you get enough people to say that they don't exist, then all the retards on the left will start believing it.
Yeah, listen, I've long since given up trying to understand. I would love to talk to one of them just to hear their mindset. I dare not ask any questions that would be pressing, but it's you get so used to it, you're just like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
According to MSNBC, everyone who loves democracy is technically Antifa.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thanks, MSNBC.
Whatever, dude. Anti-fascist. What? That's such a. Oh God.
That's their new argument, though. If you say that you are against Antifa, that means that you're for fascism because that's how their brain works. And I'm like, no, no.
There's no nuance with them. It's either black or white. You're either with them or you're against them, or you're for Trump, against Trump. It's like, dude, you can be in the middle and agree with things and not agree with others. Like, it's okay. You can have a little bit of nuance with this stuff, and that's where they lose me on 99% of the stuff.
Man.
Heels Up Harris claims Trump voters are complaining to her that they feel lied to.
Heels Up Harris. I like that.
Heels Up Harris.
I like that.
And I'm getting all of these from the Liberty Daily. These are good headlines. So if you guys watching are looking for some dependable news sources, I go to the Gateway Pundit, Liberty Daily, WLT Report, Zero Hedge, Daily Caller, all great locations. And then I catch my morning news with Real America's Voice in the morning. So they've got a great live show. Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, yeah. Real America's Voice.
Claire, you've got a fan in my Instagram comments. So VJo6884 says he's a big fan of yours. So just want to give you a shout out.
Claire Painter.
Yeah, we're getting a shout out from Redondo Beach in California. Thank Karen Strauss, and we appreciate you watching. And for those of you watching, the one viewer on YouTube, say hi.
Hi, one viewer on YouTube.
You're so special. You're special.
Probably my wife.
Well, I think it's my
dad.
But
my dad.
Well, I was telling Claire we don't do a good job of promoting our own show, but we're getting better.
Yes. Only because we're getting started, and I just moved, and so
we're good.
We're just getting locked in.
Mr. Brian Lane is the ass behind our promotion, so we're getting there. He's the wheels.
Yeah, I'm an ass. Yeah, seriously.
That's what I meant.
I've been an ass by promoting nothing. But no, it's what was I going to say? There was the whole Antifa thing, man. It feels like we're under a mass psyop. Seriously, like
Yes.
Yeah.
you got on one hand, okay, so they're disenfranchising the patriot. They're disenfranchising, and then they're like putting out all of this stuff about the Jews, and they're putting out all this stuff about Hitler's speeches translated, and everybody's like, wait a second, and I'm like, why is this all of a sudden happening? It feels like they're pushing us into something, and they're trying to say, I know you feel this, so why don't you just identify with it? And I'm like, this has to be some kind of massive psyop that they're trying to pull on the conservatives in this country.
Yeah.
They're trying to activate and freaking radicalize.
Yep.
Yeah. And indoctrinate with this stuff and make us relate to things because we feel so, I don't even know what the word would be, just like displaced, like
and just angry and ready for a change, and we're like looking for any kind of catalyst to get us to take off,
And so they're putting this stuff. I feel like this algorithm. I feel like there's some kind of
algorithm adapts scarily fast.
Yeah,
and if you just, even for ads, if you just hold it on your phone and you just forget to scroll for like 3 seconds, all of a sudden that ad's going to be on there for 2 months. It's and then your algorithm adapts so fast, it's scary. And I'm sure it's AI driven and all that stuff, but it's like, man.
what I've been telling people is just because the news won't report on something doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
And just because they did report on something doesn't make it so.
Right.
Meaning,
yeah, exactly.
Just because they say it doesn't mean it happened. And if they do say it, maybe they took it out of context to twist it into something that it's not. And we've given, some people say estimates as high as 10%. And I say it's less, but let's just say 10%. The news media gives 10% of the population as much sound equipment as a Kiss concert, magnifying their message so that the psyop, to your point, Brian, is more people believe, well, half the country believes that. Because half the people voted for half the people didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
No.
They'll sit there and say this wasn't a mandate. Well, yes, it was.
Well, dude, they're pumping these feeds. They're pumping conservatives' feeds with this stuff that's what I'm seeing is anti-Jewish. And I'm seeing this stuff that's Hitler related, that's Nazi Germany related. And listen, I'm on Real America's Voice. I don't even interact with anybody's post unless it's somebody that we're doing a collaboration with or whatever. And my feed is inundated with crazy radical stuff. And it's like, then they go and pull some kind of data report. It looks like that the conservatives are consuming Nazi rhetoric and anti-Semitic stuff. And
data.
And it's BS, bro.
But it almost makes you wonder though, like, is it some kind of psyop where they're trying to drive conservative voices to whatever, or is it just that they know that type of information drives a lot of interaction and engagement, which will in turn, that kind of thing.
It could be
both.
It could be the prince of the power of the air, for all I know, like it's principalities, but when you start getting so fed up with the government, you start looking to like crazy dictators like Putin, and you're like, why is his cities clean? Why? Why is this like? And we're over here like bickering about that's right, Taylor Swift, saying she's savage and that's racist, and or she's not savage. My bad. Let me correct that.
And so, how great is it that the left's turning on her? Sorry.
It is amazing.
It's good until she capitulates, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it like that. She was just referencing a song, and it's crazy. And then Kelsey's brother.
Oh my God,
dude,
forget
you
that
couldn't
guy.
be no more alpha beta, like whatever.
Beta.
It's like, dude,
that guy kills me,
bro. And then the guy with the song, he's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it doesn't mean you got to make conservatives. Just make music, bro.
Just make music.
Right.
Exactly.
Unite us under something. Don't divide us even more. Now we hate you.
If you really want to take it a step further, go look at the latest Danny Jones podcast with Mike Benz, because they specifically talk about the music industry and how it's been used to manipulate people globally. And they get into all genres of music and everything. It's like, it's a wild interview.
Well, for our entire life, music has been a neutral thing, right?
Yeah.
It's never been one side or the other. You have your fringe, whatever political movements and stuff, but for the most part, it's been neutral. Now it's like, if you're not towing the line one side or the other, you're not relevant. So now these musicians, rightfully so, they're trying to make money. They have to pick a side. And it's the clean line of, the rap and all that stuff is going to take the left. The country's going to take the right. And then it's
we thought it was.
We thought
it was.
Yeah, dude. There's so many liberals in Nashville. Don't even get me started. I just moved out.
The arts in general, liberal arts in general.
It's crazy. Just stay neutral. Try to unify us. Try to bring us together on American Pie or apple pie or whatever it is.
Just sing a fucking song, man. That's all we want.
Unite us and sing. About things that everybody can like. Richmond, north of Richmond. That song that brought everybody's like, yeah, I can relate to that because on the left and the right, it's everybody can come together on that stuff. Bring us together and
more sad songs because everybody's sad these
but
days.
Just to reference this, reference, like who was the chief musician in heaven? The only thing I can say is, listen, I'm not a big religious nut at all, but I've been saying it and I'll say it again. I believe that there is a God because of the amount of demonic activity that's going on with the Democratic Party and this liberal progressive agenda.
Agreed.
And so I'm like, okay, if there's demons, there's got to be angels, and if there's angels, there's got to be a creator. And that's how I.
Well, they're forcing our hand. They're so evil that they're forcing us to be like, well, fuck, maybe there is a God. Because
so many people think that too lately. Yeah. Like it just gets to be more and more people, and then with Charlie Kirk and everything, now more people are like, wow, there's demons. Yeah.
Well, we got to experience firsthand true evil. With those people celebrating his death, that was the antithesis of everything that we stand for as conservatives or most humans, decent human beings in general.
Well, it's your point about that. So I had to unfriend some people, 3 people. I won't name them on here, but one of them, after 17 years of friendship, for no reason whatsoever, you unfriended me. I would really like to know why. I didn't even respond. Because when he liked,
why?
Well, I can tell you exactly why. He liked a post by another mutual friend that said another piece of human garbage taken to the trash. I'm like, done with both of you. Not going to argue with you. I'm not going to talk about it. You are free to have that opinion, and I'm free to disassociate with you.
Exactly.
Did everybody block a lot of people around that time? Because on Facebook, I was just blocking them left and right. Same thing though. Is like, there's nothing for me to connect with you on, and me talking to you is going to do nothing. So bye.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna sway you. I'm not gonna convince you that you were wrong for having that opinion. So it's just best that we just don't speak.
Yeah, we agree to disagree, and I'm gonna sever that tie. Maybe in a couple of years if I run into him somewhere and things have calmed down, why'd you delete me? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Yeah. It was very frustrating. I'm sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No. I was just, my question is this, is this reconcilable aside from divine intervention or a staged alien invasion?
For the individual, I think it is for them to have a reckoning and say, look, I did some deep introspection. I realized that I was wrong. I was saying it from a place that I didn't really mean. I was going through whatever, I feel like for the personal individual, yes, it is maybe reconcilable. For the overarching people on the left as a group, I don't see how you can, as a group, reconcile that.
So we cannot fix this. Is irreconcilable. And if that's the case, then there has to be a head, and there has to be something that goes down in order for something to shift drastically, because there's no way that we're going to make it another couple of years at this rate in this country with this division. And I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but it's the truth. You sense it in your soul. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, the sad part about it is, he's the flagship show at our network, and you're devastated by the fact. But you're not shocked at the reality.
Right.
Yeah.
You're shocked that it happened to him, and it's terrible, but you're like, oh,
it's
God.
Par for the course for the left.
And it's like, okay, this is the next level. All right. So now where do we go from here? Especially now that you killed one of our people. Yeah. And it's like, and we did nothing about it, and rightfully so. We acted and behaved, and we didn't burn down cities, and we didn't do all of those crazy things that they did for a criminal. And so, it's
to me. I think. Sorry to cut you off, but I think for the left, for us, I think that it's going to be, we stop platforming those people and giving those people a voice. And I think the left, the majority of the left, I feel like is not that fringe crazy that way. I mean, yes, they're all a little bit kooky, but the most of them aren't. I mean, I'll give them that credit.
But what's
so
like the
I
maximum?
feel like those people will start losing their voice. They'll stop being, you know, platformed and have the clickbaity shit that you see online, and then that will kind of fade off, and then the rest of the, you know, moderate or liberals or whatever will kind of fade, and then it will leave those people by the wayside. Is my point. So I think it'll kind of take care of itself.
Well, you got and then you've got this wokeness. It's still creeping into the mix, right? You know, like you got white girls on there going like, if a black woman or a black man says that they're bothered by something, it's not time for you as a white person. No, it is. I don't give a crap. I'm going to weigh in on it. You know, like I'm going to weigh in. I'm tired. I'm half Iranian. Does that count? So it's like, you know, like, does that make me multicultural because I, you know, only part of me, like, you know, like whatever.
I think most of the right is waking up to that. We're tired of that bullshit. We're not gonna.
What about the left?
Yeah,
we're not gonna bow.
I think most people are waking up to be honest, because if you listen and search out some of the people in Chicago that have been going off on Brandon Johnson, people of color, tired of their communities being decimated by the invasion of people coming into the community. Loss of funds.
Claire,
the Chicago school district is like $700 or $900 million in debt. Some stupid, outrageous number they'll never be able to dig themselves out from. And then Chicago schools have had to shut down a ton of schools because they don't have the funding. So where are the kids going to go? So what happens with the taxpayer who has a right to be here and should have access to the services that our tax dollars pay for? Now their kids can't go to school or the schools are overcrowded. All we're doing is perpetuating a cycle of failure to our children.
And normalizing it. Exactly.
And then what is I'm going to go with the good and evil, Brian, like you talked about. How do you get up and want to push that narrative and folks that don't belong here onto the taxpayer dole? I mean, we're paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then denying it's not harming your city, and then saying it's not detracting, and then coming up with all of these arguments that they're a net benefit to the economy, not a negative. I can tell you, I told both you guys, and I showed you this screenshot from a buddy of mine who's retired. He still has friends on Chicago PD, and they're like, believe it or not, and you'll never hear it on the news, Brandon Johnson is breathing a sigh of relief because he knows he's in over his head, and they need ICE in there to clean up the city. And they need the extra support to not just ICE, but just crime in general.
Right.
But they'll never show it on TV. And right now, what I'm being told by my friends who still work for the federal government, that you're looking at anywhere from 1 to 2 more months of a federal shutdown. Oh, yeah. And at a minimum, the best it's going to be is that they capitulate after No Kings on the 18th. Because that's going to be when 5 million people go to D.C. and we're going to change the world. That's their big thing, which it's not going to happen that way. No. We know it. And at some point in time, somebody's going to give. I think we've got Speaker Johnson and the rest of the Senate Republicans. They're not going to cave. And it's going to take these assholes on the left in the Senate to get it done. Right? Somebody's going to have to give.
And
you know what Trump should... Go ahead.
To your point about Chicago... I mean, those people, if you see those interviews of the guys going on the street talking to the actual citizens of Chicago, they want the National Guard there.
They do.
Yes.
They're like, thank God. I saw one black family who was like, I can finally let my kids play outside without worrying about something happening to them. And it's like, I think for them, the majority of those constituents in those areas didn't realize that their tax dollars were going where they were going. They didn't realize that, like, wait, my tax dollars are going to people that aren't even supposed to be here. I don't think they realized that was even happening. And now all this is coming out.
Yes.
And they're like, wait a minute. No. I'm not paying for that. Well, so I think the education is also, a big thing that needs to be happening. But these people are waking up to what's actually happening with their money.
You've got, it's
agreed.
Also, a lot of people are always, that it's mostly white suburban middle class women or middle-aged women, or upper class, rich, wealthy women, or just the occasional, like, what do they call them, dudes for Harris or whatever, white dudes for Harris.
White dudes for Harris.
They still exist.
What a beta group of guys.
Yeah, they're like, I've gone to Chicago and it's been safe. I can walk down. I'm like, dude, you haven't been to O Block, have you? You haven't been. You haven't been up to any of these neighborhoods. You're downtown where they got
10
some
a.m.
police.
Sunday on Lakeshore Drive.
Yeah, exactly,
dude. And so you've got all of these. You've got all these people saying it's safe in all these cities and stuff like that. But they're not focused on the people who are in danger living in these neighborhoods who can't afford to live anywhere else. They don't care about them. They care about whatever it is that they're trying to espouse. This, I don't even think they know what they care about. Honestly, they don't care. They're just talking because they're on Team Blue. That's it.
Let's listen to what the Hamburglar has to say about what he's going to do to ICE.
He looks so
I don't
classic.
trust at all that the Trump administration is going to hold any of these people responsible. We will. We're going to call for accountability. And indeed, the tables will turn someday. These people should recognize that
ICE.
Maybe they're not going to get prosecuted today, although we're looking at doing that. But they may get prosecuted after the Trump administration for the things that they did because the statute of limitations won't have run.
So here we got the governor of Illinois saying that you've got law enforcement in the state doing their job, but we don't like you, so you better pray we don't get back into office because we're going to find a way to bend the law and we're going to run you through the ringer. And even if they're found not guilty, remember, the process is the punishment. They will bankrupt these guys.
Yeah.
It's almost like a threat. Like he's telling them, you better stop doing your job because if we get back in power, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like
great point.
He looks like if he would have been born in the 20s, he'd have been Al Capone's best friend. It's like it's one of those
cloth and his little.
Yeah, it's like see guys,
look, see, you better back off. See,
take it easy. See?
We don't want nothing to happen to you or your family.
Oh my God! Yeah, this guy is an embarrassment. Everybody in the state of Illinois can't stand him, especially those of us south of I-80, and the folks north of I-80 are getting fed up with him. And like I said, if you go watch any of the video where you can catch people at city council going off on Brandon Johnson, they are fed up. So hopefully, we'll be able to get a Republican governor in. We've had them before; they're mostly criminals.
Yes, they are.
Maybe we can get a good one. The other thing is the last Republican governor, Bruce Rauner, he's a billionaire, and he ended up being a worthless governor as well.
Oh, he was terrible. He was horrible.
And you know more about Pritzker than I do, but I feel like he got in and didn't realize he was going to be under the spotlight as much as he was, and you can tell he's in over his head. He doesn't have a freaking clue what's going on. His speeches are awful. He's just everything he says is just terrible.
I've noticed it's like he uses AI or something. He says big words, but they don't go together. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's got that faux mohawk thing too.
Yeah. He's so bad.
You ever, because I'm out there, out in the ether thinking about this stuff. I always wonder, you look at all the galaxies, you can't get to them. I wonder if those are like Netflix channels to the aliens, and they just like, let's tune into the Milky Way and see what's going on Earth.
We are their comedy show.
And they place these characters that look the freaking part. They look the part. Like you watch it on TV and you're like, I don't like that guy. And then you see him in real life and you're like,
Hey, you know what? Hey, we're South Park to the rest of the universe.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, we're the Truman Show for the aliens.
So bad.
I'm telling you, bro.
Well, according to CNN, massive red wave. CNN caves and admits Democrats are cooked in midterms. Republicans could gain 7 to 17 House seats. We need super majorities so we don't have to get screwed by the Democrats when it comes to running this country and getting things done that need to get done.
And we can't have the neocon or the Bush,
the rhinos and the neocons either.
Yeah, we can't have them taking back over the Republican Party.
No.
I'm not even a Republican, but still I'm siding with the conservatives on this and all of that. So it's like I want the American value, America first values, taking care of our people, taking care of our veterans, taking care of everybody,
and Aaron,
especially the mentally ill, getting them off the street.
And Aaron, you put this out all the time. It starts at the local level. You have to get involved.
I'm talking school board, city council,
everything, because that's
county board.
That's where for the last decades, call it 2-3 decades, that they've infiltrated our system. Yes, started at the local level, school boards, even freaking HOA.
Shite, bro.
Does anybody like their HOA?
No.
They're all liberal. Every one of them.
Yes.
So it's like that's how they get you. They start there and then they work their way up to the big house. So it's like you have to get involved in your local elections.
There is nothing else to blame. I'm going to lay it right here. Music,
Lay it here right now.
music, movies, and education.
Amen.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is where they've defeated us.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way we're going to win the hearts and minds of America back is through those mechanisms right there. Well, some good speeches too along the way, but like it's some good rallies and things like that. But you know, we keep talking about all of this stuff and we keep pointing it out. And you do see some independent movement here. You see like We the Studios, they're doing some stuff and they're really coming along. You see,
Shout out, their stuff's awesome.
Just different stuff that's happening, but it's not coming together. And I feel like we're not doing it fast enough. We need to faster, and we need to take over the airways. Where's the Google for the conservative? Now you can say, oh, DuckDuckGo, but are we really using it? Are we using it as conservatives?
Exactly.
Are we really doing what it takes? No.
And I think for conservatives, we've been in the driver's seat as far as controlling where America goes, as far as, you know, our outlooks and stuff like that for so long that we've become complacent and haven't worried about those local elections and haven't worried about all that kind of stuff that will effectively matter for the rest of us. So we've become complacent. We don't take this stuff seriously. I know a lot of conservatives, even my friends, that are like, I don't vote. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, well, that's what they're betting on. They're betting on us being complacent and not caring what happens and going, it's not a big deal. It's not going to make a difference. And that's how we've gotten to where we are.
Yeah.
You know, and the hypocrisy from the left is so bad. And I'm going to point out Elizabeth Warren, leftism for thee, but not for me. When Senator Elizabeth A. Warren recently traveled to the Big Apple to endorse New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, she was asked if overt socialism is really the best model for Democrats to adopt. And she's like, you bet, she replied in her signature folksy style. But here's where it gets interesting. I think that Warren hauls in nearly $1 million a year. She donates less than 3%. That's between her and her husband. She donated less than 3% of her household income to charity in 2024, according to tax returns. This is much less than the charity of the Obamas, for instance, who typically donate more than 20% of their earnings, so on and so forth. So we've got, as Rush would call her, Pocahontas. Rush was great about it. He had some of the best, and so did President Trump, some of the best names for her. But, you know, she makes almost $1 million a year, pushes socialism as the way to go, yet lives at the top 1% of income earners in the country. So, and people know this, yet they refuse to say, wait a minute, aren't you the pot calling the kettle black? Aren't you being a hypocrite? You're not living up to your own ideals, or at least what you espouse as your ideals in the public marketplace. I can't stand you. I mean, we wouldn't want to hang around people like that. It's like the guy that always says, I caught a fish this big. And you know damn good and well, it's the minnow that he bought at the bait shop, right? And he's always telling a bull nonsense story, and you just get tired of hearing it. But it's over and over and over. I mean, look at the hearings when she was grilling Kennedy. And he pushed back and says, you know, didn't you get, you know, a few $100,000 from, you know, Big Pharma? No.
But you did.
Nobody will think about it. And I kind of want to get into this. The Zohran Mamdani thing. How are we going to allow this to happen?
Idiots.
It's unbelievable to me. And Aaron, I just sent you a text that's a great analysis.
I'll put it in there.
Of what Mamdani was saying. They were asking him, he was on some TV show, they were asking him to denounce Hamas. And if you guys don't follow Jeffrey Mead, you should. He's a great follower.
He's amazing.
He's good. I agree.
But he does a great analysis of this, and this is the video I sent. But he won't even denounce Hamas.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, they're asking him outright, will you denounce Hamas? And he will not do it. And I'm like, you guys want him to be the governor of New York? You've got to be out of your mind. I don't understand how you can reconcile that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get this up here on the screen, and I'll play that for you. You know, President Trump successfully negotiated with Hamas, but can't negotiate with Democrats, which proves Democrats cannot be reasoned with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there's peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, that applies to the Israeli military, applies to anyone you could ask me about.
I think he's a snake. And I absolutely do not think he should be the next mayor of New York. Let's go back a little bit. He said he wanted peace in that region. So again, he said he wants to ensure there's peace. Yet he won't denounce Hamas, and yet he won't say they need to get rid of their weapons. Make no mistake about it, Hamas's intention is the destruction of the state of Israel. That's their goal. Here's the preamble to their founding documents. These are their founding documents. Look. All right, so don't worry about the big first paragraph. Go down to where it starts with Israel. Look what it says. This is the preamble. Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam obliterates it. And you can pause to read the rest if you want. It's not unknown. Hamas's goal is the destruction of the state of Israel. So if that's their whole goal, and Zohar Mamdani says he wants peace in that region, how do you get peace in that region between Israel and Gaza? Either Israel wipes out Hamas or Hamas wipes out Israel. Again, he's not calling for Hamas to put down their weapons, which he should be. They're a genocidal terrorist organization. He says he wants peace, but he won't condemn the organization who wants to destroy an entire nation. By the way, it's just interesting connection. Hamas is an Islamist group and Zohar Mamdani is a Muslim. I'm not saying all Muslims agree with Hamas. I'm definitely not saying that because that's not true. But what I am saying is that connection should not be ignored. So now we know Zohar Mamdani refuses to denounce Hamas and say they should disarm and disband. He refuses to say that. But watch this when he's talking to another Muslim.
Mayor Mamdani, would you welcome Prime Minister Netanyahu to New York City for whatever he comes for, given the US is not a signatory to the ICC, so he can travel to the US, unlike a lot of other countries. Would a Mayor Mamdani welcome Benjamin Netanyahu to the city?
No. As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
So he won't denounce Hamas and tell them to disarm, but he would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. He's quite literally a terrorist sympathizer. And this is where the modern Democratic Party is at. They are looking to elect a terrorist sympathizer as the mayor of New York City. The modern Democratic Party is not good for the United States of America. Also, just a reminder, I have a free email newsletter where I give you morning updates about what's going on. It's a great place to get information from me. The link is in my profile. Just click it. You'll see the screen, drop your email in, and you'll be good to go. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I figured I better let him get his plug in there. He did a good job.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he's a great follow if you don't follow him. But
yeah, no, he's good. He's got good content.
I don't care. This gets me fired up. I don't care what side of the stance that you're on as far as Israel and Hamas and all that stuff. But to have somebody not denounce a known terrorist organization and you want to be governor of one of the greatest cities in our entire nation. I mean, that to me that should be full stop. You can't be allowed.
Yeah, that's so messed up. I hadn't seen that. That is so messed up. And I've seen a lot of his stuff and been shocked, but that's a whole other level.
Gosh, well, I mean, and to be so blazing about it and just be like, no, Benjamin Netanyahu, straight answer, no. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's kind of punishment for they're really like just siding with them. Like the Democrats have no freaking like identity whatsoever, individual identity. They're one. They do work together, but it all boils down to the kids, obviously. The boomers, the kids of the hippies are the ones that are, and the hippies themselves. Don't get me wrong. So Pocahontas and all of them, I think she was like around during that era. You've got these people who have raised these lazy kids who don't want to aspire to anything other than what they can get because they're so self-centered and narcissistic that they have to have things free and things easy. And they think, well, why should I have to help the local homeless person when the government can help
But let me just push that off. Yeah.
It's still going to tax the crap out of you. You don't care as long as you don't have to deal with it. But it ends up being worse in the end. And so you've got these people who are just like, give me free. And they're gonna put this guy in as like, kind of
he's the
thorn in the side of Trump, but it's really gonna fall on deaf ears because at the end of the day, this experiment, and I know they're going to pour all the Soros people are going to be behind this, trying to make sure that it looks successful and looks beautiful.
They're going to fund it and stock the grocery stores.
Yeah,
and all that shit.
Until it hurts.
You know, and I've said this many, many times, and I probably pissed a few people off. The American voter has been so dumbed down across the board. I don't care if it's left or right.
By design.
By design. The fundamental understanding of how an economy operates just goes right over the head of most people.
Yes.
To say that the government's going to take care of it and not make the connection that I have to pay taxes in order to fund the government in order to take care of this, when does it stop?
Exactly.
I don't think that they're going to have to pay those taxes.
Exactly. It's
They-
that fundamental disconnect of where do you think that money comes from?
Yeah.
The government. It comes from the government, Brad. It comes from the government.
Yeah, it's just they just
comes
create
from the government.
it.
Yeah, government printer go.
They hit the button and the money comes out.
Yeah,
literally, that's really how it works. But it's just
well, then you get into
You're like,
that fiat currency out there. But that's another podcast.
Thanks a lot getting us off the gold standard.
Yeah, debt-based currency. It's wild, man. Mandami.
Sorry to interrupt you again, but Mandami, it's like I feel it's so ironic that it's New York that it's happening to.
Oh,
we had the the Muslim terrorists.
You would think
on
of San
9/11.
Francisco or something first,
right? And it's like it's for the people of New York to bend the knee to that is just so unbelievable to me. It's like if they can take New York after what New York has been through on 9/11, and to have that type of person come in and want to run the
do you
city?
think they're actually going to take New York unless they? Don't you think that they're having to cook the books a little bit?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be there?
I have faith in the general American, and I feel like that they can see the writing on the wall. I hope, but I'm with you. I think they have to cook the books for that to happen.
I mean, Long Island's there, and that's one of the most conservative places. I mean, Long Island's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
If you've been to Long Island.
Yeah.
And
there better be some eyes on those freaking.
How can you let that happen? And then you got the mayor. I mean, if you get some good Republican or conservative mayors in there, you really give Mondami or whatever his name is a run for his money or everybody else's money.
Well,
everybody else's money.
Right. I mean,
you've had so much shit opposition to Mamdani. It's like, fuck, we got to get somebody in there that's actually worth a damn to even compete with the guy.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even know what to think about it. I don't even, I grew up Muslim, so I do understand. I understand like the whole mindset behind Islam and the Jewish people. They, I don't care how you slice it. They are not. We were not friends of the Jews.
Yeah.
We just weren't. I don't care how you look at it. The Hadith, the Quran, all of that. We were not. We were told to, we were also taught to lie if we had to. It's okay to lie in order to accomplish the will of God, and that's the things that they taught us in Talim. And so like it's crazy, man. So I don't see once we got like what 250 some people in high positions in government that are Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, slowly but surely that's going. And our goal was, and the goal is still to have as many kids as possible and to educate them and put them in positions of authority. That was that they always taught us that. They reminded us every day of what was at stake. Because they know
that's how change gets made.
And there's the whole prophecy of the Mahdi, I'm saying it wrong, so I apologize.
That's right. You're not
but
it's okay.
the whole prophecy behind that is that the Muslims are going to be almost wiped out at one point, but before then they were going to have global domination.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're at that point. You are here. Mm-hmm. They're trying to take over. They're
well, when
the Jew. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
You ban prayers in school, but you allow the Muslim call to prayer in schools, but you can't have a Christian prayer in school. Don't go up to Minneapolis because you may have to stop what you're doing because the call to prayer comes up. You've got
Dearborn,
states,
Michigan.
Dearborn, Michigan, yeah.
You got states passing legislation to outlaw Sharia law. You had
God bless Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what it was,
schizophrenic in
I
Texas.
don't remember if it was Dearborn or Dearborn City. It was something in Michigan where they had the patch for the police department.
That was Dearborn property.
Dearborn, yeah.
So they had to get that after a lot of pushback. So it's see what we can get away with in Sharia law and traditional Christian law. How am I going to put this?
Oil and water.
Oil and water, but our laws and their laws don't mesh well. It's gas and a match.
No.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
it be a reformation.
well, first world and third world cultures don't go well together.
Well, there's a lot of first world cultures that are Islamic. So, like, and I'll just say, like, and it rivals Christianity.
Yeah.
So, like, in number. So, you have look. At the end of the day, man, Muslims, unless there's a reformation, and it's not going to happen because you have a software that's coded in with fail safes just in case somebody tries to fix it. You know, like,
Right.
oh, let's try to fix this real quick. And then a fail safe kicks in and it's governed by fear. This based religion. I know for a fact, you know, I practice this stuff. And I always was in my mind wishful thinking because there are a lot of good things I believe in the practice and the brotherhood and the community of Islam, you know, and I would always try to reform it in my head, but it always brings you back to the fear of Allah, brings you back to that. Oh, I better stay on my deen. I better do this. And I have to believe the purest form or I'm part of the kafirs out there, which is disbelievers. And so it's the same thing, but here's what's crazy. Islam is a copy of Judaism. And so, and I'm just saying this because you get into the Talmud, which is like the hadith of Islam.
Been getting into that.
Perfect copy. I'll say that because it's, if you just look at things historically and just logically, you can kind of figure out where things came from. I'll probably get canceled for saying all this stuff, but we basically copied the Talmud in our hadith. We preached the very same things that the Jews preach about, you know, the kafir or the what do they call them in Judaism? The goyim.
Yeah,
the goyim. Yeah, it's the same thing. So there's a real problem here. And and you got half the world on one side of it, and you got half the world on the other side of it, and it's going to be interesting to see where this stuff lands.
Here's where I'm kind of like torn. I'm like, with the whole New York situation and Mom Donnie, it's like,
sorry about that. I took you way off.
No, you're good. Do we let it happen? You know,
what choice do we have?
Exactly. Do we let it happen and let New York fall, one of the greatest cities in our entire country? Do we let it fall? So we can use that as an example to say, look, this is what we were talking about.
Do you think they'll let it
stand? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the dichotomy here? What's going to happen? I almost want to let it happen just so we can say, look, we told you it was going to happen. That's exactly what happened. So now we can make some laws to make this preventable. But at the same time, it's like, we're American. We need to take a stand and not let this happen in our country. So I don't know. Here's
what they're going to do. They're going to, you know, puff it up, make it look good. And as soon as like a Republican administration gets back in or a conservative administration gets back in, they're going to say, well, and once it starts failing and everybody gets tired of funding it,
right?
You know, maybe 8 years down the road, yeah, it was the Republicans that run this idea, so we should try it in San Francisco, you know?
Yeah.
Serious, dude.
All right. Well, we've gotten off the tracks a little bit here.
We're talking about Mondami, but
well, I guess they did follow a logical progression there. But damn fun show tonight. Everybody was lively and good to go. I appreciate that.
Lively too.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's coming to the top of the hour. Thanks everybody who tuned in this evening. We appreciate it. We'll be back again next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Is that what they used to say on the Batman show?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 7:00 Central Standard Time next Wednesday. That will be October the 22nd. If you have anything that you want to talk about before the show, please message one of us and we will make sure that we talk about what you want to talk about. And thanks again for attending. Everybody give a quick shout out for your socials.
Claire, go ahead.
I am Claire Patriot on everything X, Insta, TikTok, and YouTube.
Brian, go ahead.
And I'm at Brian Lane everywhere.
With an E, BRIE.
Yeah, Brian with an E, yeah.
I am Real Brett Lee on Instagram, at Doge Official on Instagram, and I think Doge Official on X. I don't know. Just type up any of those two names and you'll find me.
All right, I'm Doge Update Guy on all of the platforms as well. Me and my fellow hosts, thank you for your time this evening. We're going to take it out with little Toby Keith. We'll see y'all next week.
Toby Keith.
Make sure to turn off your Instagram feeds.